Canada, which is great. So if you're tuning in and curious about like an online business and what that looks like, we're here to share with you a few tips and tricks when it comes to having a business that can kind of fit your lifestyle. So having a business and working a full-time job, or having a business and, having a part-time job, and kind of just what that looks like in general, and if you can actually make it happen. So thanks, Cora, for tuning in all the way from Winnipeg. I really appreciate you. I just want to get to know you a little bit. So if you can just kind of introduce yourself, maybe just give us an idea about how long you've been doing the business for, and, when you started.
Yeah, perfect. Oh, thank you, Dustyn, for having me. I'm so excited for today. Yeah, for our viewers today, my name is Cora Price, and I live here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. I'm a healthcare worker, and I'm immigrant from the Philippines. So I started this business 6 years ago. So when we were really on our lowest point in our lives, like financially, you know, because even if I work three jobs, I was working three jobs to make ends meet, but still not enough. And one day I told myself, it's enough, you know. I
Yeah.
have no time for my kids, and then taking him to the daycare and cried every day. But I have no choice back then,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
then that's why my turning point was I need to be with my kids. They're so young, you know, and that is why I told to myself that what if I could stay home and look for something that could I earn online while looking after my kids, and that's what I found this online business that gives me the life that I really wanted. So from
Mhm.
working three jobs now I'm working 8 to 16 hours a day before. Imagine that. I have no life,
No.
right?
No.
Now I'm working 8 hours every 3 months. Imagine that. And that is because of this online business. Now I pick up shift whenever I want. You know, I have my freedom,
Yeah.
freedom to choose whatever I want and enjoy my family. And the best part, I help other people do the same thing.
Mhm. And I think that's the great thing when it comes to us as healthcare workers, right? So, you're
Yeah,
always wanting to give back in a different way, right? Like myself as well, being a healthcare worker for 16 years, you're always trained to support people and help people, right? So it's just a different way of doing the exact same thing, because we're always wanting to help people or give back or see them, change their life some way or somehow. And that's the joy that I feel when it comes to this business, is that you're seeing other people change their life for that reason as well. And that's why we love what we do in a different way, right? Like I love what I did as a
exactly.
nurse, but now stepping away, from, my job as a nurse and doing this business full time, it is a little bit surreal, right? Never thought that I would actually get here to this point, because, it's like a dream that you feel like is so far out of reach, right? But then when it's there, you're like, oh my goodness, what do I do, right?
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
if you can kind of circle back a little bit, then so what was it like for you when you first began your business journey? Were you still working three jobs, or did you quit your job right away, or were you working two jobs with this business? And if so, like, what was it like? Is the business really flexible? Was it really flexible for you to do both? Or can you just kind of give me a little bit of history, I guess, around that?
For sure, yeah. Um, excuse me. A lot of people are telling that, well, based on their experience, right? I don't think I can do the business because I work three jobs. I have kids, I have family. But you know what? If you really want a change, you will find a way,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah,
And for myself, I need to change my routine in order for me to focus on my family and to bring more income at the same time,
yeah,
right? And at the beginning, yes, I worked three jobs, like juggling those jobs, family, and the business. And you know what? No matter how busy I was, I have to find like at least 1 2 hours for my training, you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
and because I really wanted to start the business ASAP, so within 3 weeks, I was able to put my business up and running.
wow, yeah, that
So that's
quickly.
how hungry I was
Yeah,
for
right.
change.
So you want that change really
It
bad,
is
right?
very flexible. You
Mm-hmm.
can do on your own time. Like on my case, I had a small kid back then. I had to make sure that they're sleeping, my family is sleeping, and then I had to sacrifice, if you want more for yourself, more time, and to get what you want, you have to sacrifice for a bit. You have to sacrifice short term in order for you to do the long term, enjoy the long term gain, right? So
Yeah.
I sacrifice my time. I wake up very early. I slept very late in order for me to get this business up and running because I
Yeah.
really wanted to do it.
Yeah.
So you have to sacrifice something if you want to change your life. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, and that's
sacrifice.
right? What they say is like short-term pain for long-term gain, right? So I think that's
Yes,
kind of what
exactly.
we all kind of go through, like kind of your story from me when I began this business 6 years ago. I was trying to balance the flexibility of, going to work full time, right? And then also too at the same time, I was also attending school full time, and then also too, you're juggling family, and then you're away from family, and then you're trying to do homework, and then you're trying to do the business. And so but like you said, right, there's always that time, right? If you really want something bad enough, you'll make the time. But the beauty of the business is that it's so flexible. So you can kind of log into the training platform at any time that you please for yourself to get your business up and running, right? We do that attraction marketing. So, at some point when it comes to that place in your business, you can run ads and not always have to be present because our business is automated, right? So it runs
Exactly.
24/7 for us. So even for me, it was like I was having people being interested and curious in my business, even when I was at school, right? At the time, 6 years ago, and that's the beauty of this business, is that you can enjoy your present situation and still have people curious about your business and seeing that business grow, right? Which was what we're looking for here, right? So
Exactly.
obviously, it takes time, like any
It
business.
is. Yeah.
You circle back to being a nurse, right? We had to go to school to be a nurse, right? We had to go through all the theory and then the clinical and then learn about how to be a nurse. The same with the business, right? It's not something that is like a get rich scheme. We're not looking at trying to be rich overnight. That's not what a business is. And that's not long term. That's not sustainable, right? We know that it's not a pyramid scheme because those are illegal. We know it's not an MLM because those are illegal and they don't work. They don't last, right? We're looking at something that's sustainable and long term, right? For myself, I was able to quit my job last month, right? So now I can say I'm a job quitter, right? And
Oh
being
my God.
39,
We
right?
were happy for you,
Right.
Dustyn. Oh my
Oh,
God.
thanks. And then to know that you look at your funds and be like, okay, well, now I'm debt free, right? I don't have like a student loan that was $65,000, that everyone has to hold on to when they graduate, from school, right? And then it's like, okay, well, your MasterCard, credit card. And I know it sounds like when you even list those things, it sounds so surreal, but there's so many people out there in this business that are walking away from their 9 to 5, that are spending more time with their family. I just think and feel that we're so trained to have to go to school and then after get into debt and then find a 9 to 5 job, and that's life, to what then, retire when we're 60, 65 for a small pension. When I quit my job and then they give you a little like pension, right, of what you're going to make for retirement, so if I was supposed to just pull out that pension of retirement when I'm 60, how much they were going to pay me? $700 a month,
Oh my God.
right? But what is
That's
that worth going to get
crazy.
you? Very
Exactly.
little.
By then, right?
At that point, what
Wow.
can you enjoy, right? So but it's like this compensation plan, this amount of income that we're making here is what it's about, right? The compensation plan, the commission structure, we're making 5-6 figures a month. It's just mind-blowing, right? So can you like share with me now like what your journey is like now, being able to be at home with the kids? It seems like some of the dreams that you've had are coming true, right? Obviously, with being, at home, working casually, focusing on the business. Are your kids still around? Are they gone? Are you able to still balance out the business? Like, what's life like now for you, doing the business?
Wow. Wow. That's really an interesting question. You know why? Before my life, I told you before, like 3 jobs, no time for my family, living paycheck to paycheck, like credit card max out, name it, And I know that a lot of people right now watching right now are on the same boat.
Yeah.
But you know
Yeah.
what? One thing I learned is, there is more to life than 9 to 5, right? So looking back at my life, then and now I'm home every day. I'm stay home with my kids. I don't have to wake up every single day to rush to go to work. begging for overtime to just to make extra. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right now, I'm staying home and looking after my kids, and whenever they want to play, I'm available anytime. And on
Yeah.
top of that, I can help my business partner, grow their business as well. I can manage. I have freedom. I have flexibility. So I do whatever I want to do. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and that's the best uh, feeling on top of the monetary um, um, money that we get in the business. And that for me is the huge achievement, especially for parent like me with the small kids. That is huge. And I'm
Yeah.
very proud of it.
When you should be, right? Nothing beats
Yeah.
that time freedom, right? I think that's priceless, right? When you're able to do those things that I think everyone's trying to achieve. And the big thing is, you hear it all the time, is those working parents that are always away from their children and then they never see their kids grow up. And it's like, oh my goodness, my kid is now 10 and I don't even know what they like or enjoy, or you're never around, right? And like, we know like a short, right? We know that things can be taken away from us so quickly, right? Like for me, when it came 4 years ago, I lost my father, like unfortunately, randomly. And that's what made me being so driven for this business and make a change in my life, because you just don't know what's going to happen, right? And so it's really
Exactly.
important to live in the moment and live life that we believe that we should deserve. But we're so inundated by society to tell us that we should live life a certain way. Right.
Yeah.
But then sometimes on the other side of things, when you're looking at these people being so successful and you're like, oh, it's too good to be true, or that's not possible. Well, for me, the big thing that I say is I wouldn't be here wasting anybody's time, especially my own, if it was too good to be true, if it wasn't real. Why would I be here interviewing you for one, or talking all about my business, right? If it wasn't. And the great thing about our business and the company partnership that we have is that we get T4s at the end of every year to do our taxes. So we know that is legit and lucrative. And then if you're in America, you get those T99s, right? And you see that people are getting so much returns because when we have a business, we have write-offs, right?
Yes.
And it kind of can relate to your story when it comes to Franco, right? I look up to him a lot in this business. He was doing the same thing, working 2, 3, 4 jobs just to get by. It was like going from one job to the next job to the next
Yeah.
job, trying to just pay for his own bills, right? Just to make ends meet. And now it's like, okay, well, now he's quit all 3 of his jobs, right? He's at home, he's with his family, he's taking his, parents from the Philippines here to Canada, right? He's built home. Like, it's just mind blowing with his business.
Yeah.
And that's only one person, right? We know the company's a billionaire company, so they treat their individuals really well, right?
Oh
So,
yeah. Yeah.
like, it's like a great business, right? So, what would be like one encouragement to those people out there who are kind of thinking about then starting an online business, right? Or business of some sort, but kind of not sure if they can do it because they have that job or they have those kids, right? I know that I hear it all the time, or I've heard it too from other people, that it's like, well, where am I going to find the time to do that? Or how many hours do I have to be able to put into the business, right? So if there's people there watching, like, what are some pieces of advice that you can kind of give to them from your experience when it comes to the business?
Yeah. Okay. For those who are watching right now, and you think that this interview resonates with you, and you're working multiple jobs, and you really wanted to get out from bed, get out from from burnt out from work. You know what? If something in you that was telling you to try this business, you gotta try. I get it when people are scared, when people are too good to be true, right? Like at some point we were there, but you know what, the only thing that you will uh, see if this business is legit and if this business is for you, you have to try, you have to check it out what we offer here.
Yeah.
And you know what? The good thing is we have a free workshop, right? You
Yeah.
just have to watch then and see for yourself if this is for you. And again, this business is not for everyone because some people are okay on their situation right now. This is for people who wants to have some who want to change their life and who want more freedom, more family time, more income. If
Yeah.
that's you, I highly encourage you to check us out and see for yourself if this is for you,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
if that is for you, then that's okay.
Yeah.
Nothing to lose. you
No,
know?
exactly. And that's the big thing,
Yeah.
right? And that's what I love too
Mhm.
about the business. It's just that you just got to try it out for yourself, right? If you don't change
Exactly.
our
Yeah.
first step or taking that first step, then how do we know, right? I feel like sometimes we have that fear that really paralyzes us and tells us, okay, well, am I going to fail at it? Am I going to do well at it? Well, we can tell all ourselves all those negative things, but how do we know if we don't try? Right?
Yeah.
If the first thought is I'm going to fail, well, how do you know you're going to fail, right? Instead of saying you're going to fail, how about you say that you're going to be successful? Because
Exactly.
whatever you put out into the world is what's going to happen to you. And then just to kind of close it up, as well as that, we have a lot of people who are kind of always asking, well, why do you have doctors joining the business? Why do you have lawyers? Why do you have those people from healthcare who make really good money join the business? Well, we always say, yeah, those doctors and those lawyers may make a lot of money, right? They're making those 6 figures a monthly income or a yearly income as well, but they're always taken away from their family. Right.
Yeah.
And some people, it's not about the finances, because they might have the finances and they might already be set up for themselves, which is great. But then it's the time freedom that they actually get back to be able to enjoy in the moments and enjoy the family that they're taken away from when they're working those long hours. Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
And that's the best thing, If you have freedom, if you have freedom, you have everything.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Some people, that's why people are joining in our business, like high paying professionals, right? They're here because they have money, but they don't have freedom for their family. They have no time.
Nope.
So that's why, name it, we have it all.
Right? It's more
Like,
so than
really.
it's more so the thing that I'm loving too about the business is that there's a lot of things on mindset and the laws of attraction and, hoping or changing that part of you as well to be more positive instead of negative and kind of coming outside your comfort zone. We know that we see a lot of people who are introverts or might not like to show their face. We have all sorts of training for that as well, but people are growing substantially in this business, and people feel like it's a family, right? And that's what I love about this business too, is that, once I see someone, it's like I feel like I've known them for X amount of years, because you see them all the time when it comes to this business, right? And
Yeah.
everyone
And
is
that's
still
what I'm
close.
gonna add to. You know what? We have the best community ever.
Yeah,
You know, we
I
help each
agree.
other even if we don't know them. And that's I think, is our, um, how do you call it? Our alas, in the business. We have the
Yeah.
best community and we are here to support you. If you are interested, just reach out to us and we are very happy to um, walk you through it step by step.
For sure. And that's exactly it, right? So kind of wrap it up. If you're kind of watching and kind of curious and want to learn a little bit more, and you're kind of like know Cora very well and you've been following her, maybe you're coming in to Cora's page as a lead or someone that you saw her ad, then just go ahead and message her or go into her website that she has attached there at the bottom, or same with myself, send me a message anytime you're curious about the business, or go ahead and go to my website at the bottom. And then all you have to do is enter your name and email and have a watch of the webinar. We kind of encourage most people who come through the business to watch the webinar. Why? Because it gives you a basic foundation of the business, what it entails, and the information, of the business. And then as well, you can see real people who this business has changed through their testimonials as well. You can kind of see it from all sorts of different walks of life, and you have people from all over the world doing this business. So it's not just a Canadian business. It's not just an American business. It is a global business where this business operates all over the world, right? You can take your business anywhere you go as well. So that's another amazing thing, right? So if you live in Canada and decide to move to Mexico, you can still run the business, right? It doesn't stop. It
Exactly.
goes with you, right? So any last remarks that you want to say to anybody watching?
Oh, I just want to say, if you're watching until the end, you are here for a reason,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And if you are praying for so long to change your life, to have, um, you know, increase your income, this might be the best opportunity that you were waiting for the longest time. Don't
Mhm.
wait too long,
Yeah,
because this might be the start of your breakthrough. So
exactly.
check us out and, see for yourself.
Right. Well, thank you so much, Cora. I really appreciate you taking the time to have an interview with me, and
Thank
hopefully
you
we're
for
able to, of
having me, Dustyn.
course, hopefully we're able to share some quick tips to everyone that's watching about starting an online business while working a 9-to-5 job and what that looks like. And obviously, we'll be tuning in a little bit later for some more amazing go lives and interviews. So
Yes,
everyone that's watching,
yes.
have a good day, okay? And we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah. Bye, guys. guys.
Bye.
Bye.